This chapter is about structures, classes and objects. We're running ahead a little bit in the sense that most of what you'll learn about classes is going to be covered in Computer Science 2, the CS 2163 course, but it's good to get an early introduction. And in the last couple of semesters, since I have started working with artificial intelligence, a lot of the programs that ChatGPT and Copilot, etc. create tend to have things in it like structures, which is basically an early form of classes. So that's why I decided to work a little bit on that in this course too, so you can actually be familiar with the things that you're going to get back from artificial intelligence if and when you work with it. Okay, so classes are like blueprints for data structures that we use in programming. You have seen regular variables. They hold only one value of one specific time. In chapter 8 you're going to be seeing arrays, and they hold multiple values of the same data type. And then you ask yourself, okay, can we also have data structures that capture multiple values of different data types? And that's basically the classes and the structures. So both classes and structures hold multiple values of different data types, and they have a common name. As a good example, you have a student who has a first name, which is a string, a last name, which is a string, the number of credit hours that they have completed, which is an integer, and a GPA, which would be a double because it has decimals. If that student is a structure, that's all there is, because it just holds data. Then after they started working with structures, they also added the ability to incorporate functions or methods, and that's where it became classes and objects. So in the classes you have those same properties like first name, last name, credits and GPA, but you also have methods like enroll or graduate or pay bill. So the properties are the things that describe the class, and the methods are the things that you can do with it. Now I said that the class is a blueprint, but you still need to create an actual instance. It's the same as with the blueprint for a house. It's not a house yet, you cannot live in it, but you can use it to build a house that you can live in. So over here on line 9 you see that we have defined a class circle. It's a very simple class. And over here on lines 24 and 25 we define two of them. And I think it's also important to realize that over here this is just a general blueprint. These are two separate actual circles, so this circle over here is not the same as this one over here. They're two separate circles. They have separate memory locations. You can do different things with them. Okay, so you also see that the class declaration comes before the main function. In this course we're still going to try to keep things in the same code file, in the same CPP file, but you do have to declare them before the main function. Otherwise the main function says, okay, I'm going to create something of type circle, but I don't know what circle is. It hasn't been defined yet. So the classes are going to be defined before the main function. It's also not possible to do something like a function prototype, where you just do a basic skeleton first, because over here the program has to know what type of data is being stored and the things that you can do with it. So you see that can be a significant part of the class declaration already. So we don't have anything like prototypes for classes. We just have the class declaration over here before the main function. What you'll see in a little bit more advanced program is that we keep this class in a separate file, and then we just import that code with an import statement at the top of the main program. So over here you see that we have a private double radius. Now a circle, we need to know the radius, so we can calculate the circumference and we can calculate the area. And private means that when you work with a class like over here, you don't have direct access over here to the radius. You cannot change it from outside the class. You have to have a special method over here like setRadius, where you use the setRadius method or function to send it a radius over here, and then internally that radius r is going to be assigned to the private radius over here, and that's where it's protected. So that's the issue of protection in a class. Over here you see that that has to be public, so code from outside the circle class can get into the class with setRadius and change the internal radius over here. Code from outside the class also has to be able to call the calc area function, and of course that returns the area over here. Now classes also make it easier to change things. You could, for instance, add a public function, calculate circumference if you want to, and that makes the whole thing a little bit more flexible too. Okay, so in the main function, like I said, we declare two circles, which are objects based on the class circle. And you see how we call the setRadius function. We do the object name first, circle1, and then the dot, and then the function, and then anything that we need to set as a parameter. Same thing for the second circle over here. And then we can calculate the area by calling the object again, dot, and then calc area. Now you see that this does not send a parameter. By the time that this code is called, you have already set the radius here, and that comes in over here, assigns the number that you send it to the internal radius. So over here the internal radius is going to be used to calculate the area, but nothing from the outside. It's not like you can send a parameter over here and that's going to calculate the area and change it internally. And again, this is done for protection of the internal data that we don't want to be accidentally changed. So when we run this, you see the calculations over here. The area of the circle is 3.14 because we have over here 1 for the radius, and over here this is 2.5, so this is pi times the radius times the radius. You might want to add a few more things like this program is going to calculate the area of two circles, something like that. But this is just the basic code.